They told you history was the truth. Dates, names, facts carved in stone. But what if the stories we memorized were never meant to teach us, only to tame us? Let's start with the cake. Marie Antoinette never said, "Let them eat cake." That quote appeared in Rousseau's Confessions, written when the future queen was just 9 years old, a child, living hundreds of miles away in Vienna. By the time she was old enough to wear a crown, the words had already been pinned on royalty for decades. It wasn't a confession, it was propaganda. A weapon built to make people hate, not understand. Vikings never wore horned helmets. Not one burial site, not one saga, not one battle carving shows a single horn. That image came from a 19th century opera costume, a stage designer's idea of what savages should look like. It stuck because it fit the story. Barbarians at the edge of civilization. Not explorers, not traders, not poets, just monsters. But the truth was different. They were farmers, engineers, and navigators who reached the shores of America long before Columbus ever dreamed of sailing west. Rosa Parks wasn't just a tired seamstress who sat down by accident. She had been an NAACP investigator for years, documenting racial violence, training in civil disobedience. That bus seat wasn't a mistake. It was a line she chose to cross, and a system she chose to confront. The myth made her quiet. The truth made her powerful. Spartans didn't always stand and die. At Sphacteria, 120 Spartan warriors surrendered alive, something the ancient world thought impossible. Their defeat shook Greece, because it proved that even the most fearless men were still human. The myth of the unbreakable warrior survived, but the truth of their surrender was buried. Napoleon wasn't short. At 5'6", he stood average for his time. The idea of Little Napoleon was a British invention, a joke, a smear, a way to make a man who conquered half of Europe look small. Einstein didn't fail math. At 15, he was already mastering calculus. The myth of failure made him relatable, but it also made genius seem like an accident, not a lifetime of obsession. Salem's witches weren't burned, they were hanged. Ordinary women killed by fear, gossip, and power. The burnings happened only in stories because fire made better theater than rope. History isn't a list of facts, it's a mirror, and every generation decides what reflection to show. Sometimes we polish it clean. Sometimes we paint over the cracks. But if you look closer, you'll find the fingerprints of those who rewrote it. Politicians, priests, playwrights, and sometimes you and me. We remember what makes us feel safe. We repeat what makes us belong. And little by little, truth fades, replaced by the version that hurts the least. The stories you were taught to trust were never carved in stone. They were written in sand. And the tide is still coming in, because the real history isn't what they told you. It's what they hid.